Oh, the optical arcane skill to be invisible. Now I understand.
Time-traveling plot mechanics in games can be a double-edged sword. If used well, they have the potential to create a really cool story, but they can also make the plot a lot more convoluted than you'd imagine. And Reverse 1999's story has a lot of potential, but playing this closed beta has revealed that it still has a lot of polishing to do before it can brave the stormy seas of the Western mobile market. Before we get into the preview, we'd like to thank our Patreon supporters for making this possible. Please take a second to check out patreon.com/nosypixel to support independent game journalism.
As you wish!
I believe in you.
A ravishing rainbow.
Honey attack!
In Reverse 1999, you play as Verton, a human who is known as a timekeeper. The entire world is currently facing a mysterious phenomenon called the Storm, where time as we know it is moving in reverse, but the timekeeper is uniquely immune to this. With the help of your colleague Sonetto, you must seek out the Arcanists from across time and help them escape the effects of the Storm. The closed beta lets you play through the first 3 chapters, which cover the 1920s and a quick backstory on the protagonist. Depending on which characters are on your team, you'll get a different set of cards each turn which you can select and spend AP to execute arcane spells to either attack the enemy or apply a buff or debuff. Furthermore, you can also spend AP to move those cards around and combine them to create even stronger variations of those attacks. Then, after generating enough Moxie, you can obtain an ultimate attack card and deal increased damage. While the combat system is relatively straightforward and not hard to grasp, I find it quite inconvenient that there isn't a way to automate your battles. After clearing chapters 1 through 11, there is a feature called Replay which can automatically battle for you, but as the name implies, it only works for stages you've cleared previously. Furthermore, there are several mandatory tutorials that you must complete in a specific way. Even the provided hints don't help you much, making it more frustrating than it should be. To get new allies for her adventures, Verton must use the spinning wheel that's inside their suitcase, and yep, you guessed it, this is where you'll be introduced to the gacha system of Reverse 1999. By converting your clear drops into unilogs, you'll be able to summon new characters with a rate of 1.5% for 6 stars and 8.5% for 5 stars. Personally, that's not too bad, but I found that you'll struggle with content if you don't get the right elements from here, making it sort of unavoidable. Still, the beginner gacha is rather generous with the 6-star guaranteed after 3 tenfold pulls. All of the story cutscenes in Reverse 1999 feature full voice acting in English, Japanese, and Chinese, with the first one enabled by default. All of the characters speak with very distinct accents, which do bring some charm to each of them. Still, I'm just gonna say that the overall quality of the English dub sounds like they used the first take for every line, because from time to time, it sounds like some of the actors robotically spoke the script with no emotion at all in their delivery, which resulted in a complete lack of immersion. Furthermore, this also extends to the English translation, which is full of grammatical mistakes and typos, and overall feels very stiff and in desperate need of some quality assurance. And due to how it seems that the voice actors seem to be reading this translation almost verbatim, I'm inclined to believe that this issue, combined with the poor voice direction, is probably the biggest thorn on what caused this, because changing the voice and text to Japanese, for example, reveals a massive improvement in delivery and even overall translation. I was shocked. Perhaps one of the few redeeming qualities of Reverse 1999 is its character design. There's quite a selection of types, ranging from weirdly dressed people to even a talking apple. Although I'm a bit disappointed that 80 to 90% of the cast seems to be composed of female characters, with only 2 or 3 male characters, and even the protagonist is heavily implied to be female, no matter what name you choose. Still, I suppose I'm willing to swallow that bitter pill. Reverse 1999 has some good potential to be an interesting gacha game, but unfortunately its presentation falls apart really quickly with the low-quality translation and questionable voice acting quality in English, the main language that would make it attractive in the West. The Japanese translation, on the other hand, has such good quality that I would strongly wish that the developers gave the English translation the much-needed assurance it desperately craves. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all of our future content.
Noisy Pixel.